So I'm going to let a couple of you ask some questions. So if you have a question, run up to a mic.
What is that?
I like the socks. They're
They're
like
comfy, too.
Yes. Okay, so I'll just start out with a question. You've accomplished so much, and you're not even done your work yet. What are you most proud of?
Being a dedicated servant of my country. I took an oath at age 17 to serve my country, and when it comes down to it, that's been the objective, really, in what I do now, what I've done in the past, and it's what I want to do in the future, and I hope many others may take my example, because it's been a fantastic life so far. But it's getting better every day, really. I spent a reunion with my classmates from West Point, up the river, 65th reunion. And just today, a bunch of us got together from a fighter squadron that I was in Germany 60 years ago. I just hope that us lunar guys and whatever can begin to get together at Apollo Golden Legacy events.
Excellent.
And
All right.
help the nation appreciate what we did and look forward to what's coming next.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we'll start over here. Question?
Quick question, Buzz. What has been the greatest barrier to us reaching Mars to this point? Or what do you feel that it's been?
I'll try and be short and quick. Eisenhower gave a farewell address cautioning the nation of the military-industrial complex. Well, today, in space, it is the Aerospace Congress lobbying complex that is essentially paralyzing progress. They want it their way for their reasons, both the lobbyists, the congressmen, and the corporations, and they're used to doing that. And it stands in the way of our doing it for the betterment of America in the long run, not just to get reelected, to collect what you can while you can. And I think there's going to become a day of reckoning, just like we're hearing concerns about the establishment in Washington. And that is where a lot of it gets decided and paralyzed. That's the biggest objective, biggest obstacle that we've had.
Politics. You got it. Vote better. Okay. Next question.
Hi, hi, Buzz. Very nice to meet you. A privilege to be here. I was wondering what you could tell us about the dark side of the moon, and how come there's no photos?
Well, we didn't have flash bulbs, I guess. No, real seriously, we just didn't get briefed by Pink Floyd before we went. Now, let me just straighten out. The sun is here, the earth is here, the moon's going around. Now, the sun shines on the earth, it shines on the moon. It doesn't shine on the backside. That is the dark side, okay? Now, sometimes we see the dark side, okay? We see the front side. There's the back side. There's a light side and a dark side. Now just don't confuse which is which. The near side is always facing us. Sometimes it's daylight for 14 days as the moon goes around halfway. And then 14 days of darkness. You got it?
Fred.
Mr. Aldrin, I'm honored to ask you a question. Do you believe in intelligent extraterrestrial life?
You've never been asked that before, have you?
I am extraterrestrial. It is a big universe out there, and we can only see a small part of it and understand a small part of it. Probabilities are there are conditions like here in our solar system, our Earth, that were in the habitability zone and had an instability of a moon that creates tides in the oceans. Things like that help. And there's got to be many, many situations similar to that in the vast billions of stars, galaxies, and all of that out there. But you know, somebody has to be first. Us? I don't know. Probably not probable, but here we are. And we're asking questions. And until this guy gives us a couple of more answers, or maybe this guy over here, we rely on science fiction. Now, most science fiction is fantasy. All of it is fantasy, unfortunately, because it stimulates our imagination. I know one story that isn't, and it's the one I wrote.
All right.
When it is a movie series or whatever, it'll be better than Star Trek, Star Wars. May not make so much money, but it is realistic and it ventures past and into the future. I think we'll run it into the future so people will know, where did Captain Kirk come from anyway? You know, how did he get all his toys? Beam people up, down, phasers, warp drive.
We got another question. It's hard to see him, but go ahead. Yes.
I can see him.
Okay.
Yes, I guess it's really more of a history question. Was it your mission when they were landing on the moon? Either you were off course or whatever, y'all had to take it off the computer and do a manual landing, and you only landed with 2 minutes of fuel left? Was that your mission?
Probably. I can round off a couple of numbers. All of the commanders of future landings decided that they would probably want to find out how the lander responds to controls. So they sort of decided that about 500 feet they would sort of take over and begin to guide a little bit what the computer was doing. Technical guys, it was rate command, attitude hold. But they have that in some airplanes now, really. We were headed for what looked like a pretty flat area. We had a device, a very simple one. It was little lines on the window in front of Neil. And they were kind of calibrated for his height. So the computer that I would read out, 38 degrees, we'd look at 30, that's where the computer was taking us. It was pretty smart, had all this. So if he wanted to change where we're going, he could manually move that to a different spot, redesignate. Pretty smart computer. Then it would continue to take us there. And it had a fair idea, the elevation. We had radar. It could tell us. But nobody wanted to let the computer land it by themselves. See, like a macho fighter pilot or a Navy carrier, you want to land it yourself. Good idea. But it was hitting us for a crater with a bunch of rocks in it. So the best way is not to pitch up and land short, turn left, right, but to fly over the other side. Takes more time, a little more fuel. So it was 15 seconds fuel left. At 60 seconds, we're 100 feet up. I didn't want to bother Neil. But at 30 seconds, 10 feet, that's okay. We can. So we didn't have a dipstick. But we calculated 15, 20 seconds. That's all right. You can do a lot.
That's a gutsy call.
Right. Okay. We are out of time, so I'm sorry we're not going to be able to take any more questions. Let me ask you one more thing, if I may, Buzz, and that is, what would be a message? Your new book, No Dream is Too High. Tell me about what does it take to be a big thinker? Why do you think most people don't think bigger than they do?
Somehow they limit themselves to what their surroundings are, what they've gotten used to. You can get beyond. You can try a little harder. And you'll find that no dream is too high. You got to define what the ceiling is. And
How do you know how do you know when do you think there is any limit?
each person has one, but I think you have to have an open mind, go through a lot of possible experiences, pick one that fits you, and then improve it, make it better. And think around the fringes, and that is outside the box. That's innovative, constructive, improving things. And then test them to make sure you're not leading somebody into a trap, blind. And there are a lot of traps around. And the book says, failure is an option. You got to be ready for failure at any time, but don't obsess in it, because that's a paralyzing emotion. Be alert. Watch whatever's coming along.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, if you want to head off there, thank you, Buzz. Thank you very much.